rotating to have a little bit more of that impact in the early to mid game. So definitely something for the Camelot Kings to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, the Kings are no stranger to a start contest against them. They had their matchup with the Bolts. That was a huge one for them, and they were able to topple them, and a lot of it thanks to the help of this Ymir from Genetics. So yeah, Emoji walls are great, but they've got one of their key players on one of his key gods. We'll see if the Camelot Kings can do it in game number 1 as we take it over to Dulcin and Mifflin for the cast.
It's the final weekend of phase number 2 here in Season 8, and what a way to start it off.
Junglers, Sanford Soccer does not often go towards this Circuit pick. I think this is something that we've only seen very recently from him, so I'm excited to see how it pans out, and so far, pretty good.
That is a lot of damage on the big man Tings, who still has speeds. Percussive Storm isn't up, and Hurrywin waltzes on in on the back end of a Sanford Soccer invade and picks up first blood. Uh-oh, now Genetics under some threat as well, but already healthy enough. So Genetics will walk away, but it's going to be a purple buff drop as well here. Lots of buffs being taken away. Plus hell is what you think of. Panda Cat alone. Captain Twig makes Netrioid not alone here. Drops the Sun's on, but it's a pin from Captain Twig, who's taking a lot of damage here. Taunt through, but he's got to get the kill.
He wins those!
Oh no, Panda Cat has turned around the 2v1. Does he live? That's the question. Netrioid does not have his snipe.
He's out!
And he does not have the range. I asked on the Hunter waiting room, why don't you attack Panda Cat? This is why, because he's got all the help in the world. Netrioid, he'll fall as well, and what a turnaround from the Jade Dragons.
If you are going to step to Panda Cat, you better come correct with a poison-tipped dagger, because that first hit needs to ring true, and he turns it all around.
Uh-oh, the Jade Dragons, they keep their foot on the gas. Phantom used by Genetics, but he turns around for the double freeze, and that seals his fate. Sanford Soccer adds his first kill of the game, and this is the Jade Dragons that was missing in 2 out of the 3 games.
Jade Dragons, on the other hand, just used the beads on Mike, but still is an opportunity for the Kings to look towards this neutral objective with all that space created, and it will go their way. Gold lead, though, still largely in favor of the Dragons.
Oh, Sanford Soccer, he's engaged on the big man Tings here. Look at the Taiko drums. They're perfect from Hurrywin. Nearly gets the kill, and in fact, it does on the big man Tings. Now it's a killing spree for Hurrywin out of the mid lane. Chronos Pendant plus early Obsidian Shard, I guess, does a lot of damage to BMT. So now Tier 1 Tower in the mid lane, plus a kill for the Jade Dragons.
Surely not a speed buff steal here. Sanford Soccer tries his best and does get it over the wall with ambushing
this gap. Can you at least get the tower? Hurrywin's got something to say about it. It's a taunt through from Captain Twig. Tycho drums, pouring out just a little bit of damage, finds about half of Twig's HP and half of Variety's HP as well. Stygian Torment from FineOK will drop Variety right where he is. Sanford Soccer looping around the backside. This hill is in some danger, and FineOK burns her down for the kill.
Well, we'll see whether or not Captain Twig's able to make his way out. There's the beads, and the transformation's good, or maybe not. Great stun, Hurrywin. Credit for that kill, and nice little micro play from the Camelot Kings. The taunt from the Taiko drum was denied, but at the end of the day, the Dragons get what they want.
Well, and the Kings are sending 3 to the duo lane here to kill off Panda Cat. And it won't matter. Genetics is going to take a lot of minutes. It's all that slow here for the Jade Dragons. And this one's starting to spiral just a little bit. Still grouping.
Not the speed.
It's going to be another speed buff invade if
no, don't do it.
Captain Twig wants to go secure it. He'll transform. Oh, no, he uses his transformation. Taunt through. Goodbye, Captain Twig. Hurrywin. We'll put him on down for the rampage.
And then he jumps aggressively into the lane, trying to catch out Variety as well. The Jade Dragons are just bullying at this point. And the Camelot Kings have a couple options. They could turn off their monitor so you're not getting cyberbullied anymore. Yeah, right. They could show up to this Fire Giant and potentially try and put up a steal, but nobody's really in range as of yet, and it is getting absolutely shredded.
PBM loves this frenzy, whether he's on the Fafnir or on literally any other support. Helps his team get these. Still, everyone in the game's got their ultimates. Everyone in the game has got their relics as well. Captain Twig taunts a few in, and it's FineOK taking damage. Big man Ting's far enough in the build to do some damage on this Merlin. Around the left side goes Sanford Soccer and Panda Cat and Mike. Low in the back as Variety walks forward. Netrioid, he has to crash down out of the ultimate, but he's lost half of his health in the meantime. This one not as clean just yet for the Dragons.
That is a strange Phantom from Genetics there. Lost out on that capacity inside of the team. Sanford Soccer first in. Great wall!
Oh, it's a perfect wall, and that's kept Sam at bay. Camelot Kings on the board for the first time this game, 24 minutes in, and that has sent this Phoenix Siege right on back. Jade Dragons now have to wait 45 seconds for their jungler.
You can't let Genetics get this much time. Eventually, he is going to find a wall. That changes the fight. Twig, isolated though, should be able to make it out.
Uh-oh, a collapse in here from the Camelot Kings. FineOK isolated. FineOK decimated. Panda Cat locked in by Genetics as well. What is happening? The crumble of the Jade Dragons happening right outside the right side of the Camelot Kings base. And they are back up. Also, Fire Giant now enhanced since we started to do this little dance around the FG, so becoming ever so important for the Camelot Kings to step forward and try to contest. You have to watch the frenzy from Mike. That's when you know this Dragons team wants to commit onto the FG. Genetic steps forward, gets a freeze on the Final K. A little damage, follows in on the back, and the leap gets used now by the Cerberus. Fire Giant taken down beneath half HP, but it's reset.
And it's the Jade Dragons retreating yet again. A chess match between these two teams, with the Fire Giant remains low. Gotta play safe.
It's going down quickly, and it gets taken down by the Jade Dragons. Up to the sky goes Netrioid, but the DOT from Sanford Soccer takes down the carry. Captain Twig alone in the back, and Hurrywind has turned his scope there. It's a double kill for Sanford Soccer, and Hurrywind's got one as well. The Camelot Kings, they stepped up, they turned this game around. But Miff, I'm not sure it's enough. Enhanced Fire Giant on all 5 of the Dragons. A big taunt in. It looks like the Jade Dragons are taking game 1.
But it wasn't nearly as easy as I would have expected, Dave, considering how dominant they've been up until that last 5 or 6 minute stretch. The Camelot Kings, playing into a massive deficit for 30 uninterrupted minutes, were able to at least make the Jade Dragons sweat a little bit. Can't think that the Jade Dragons are going to be able to pull that exact same lead yet again. We might be looking at a similar situation as the last Dragon set, in that it's a team that takes one-sided matches back-to-back, but not necessarily always in their favor.
I think if you're the Dragons and a Dragons fan, though, I think you got to be confident.
But with the drafts lining out here, Jade Dragons, they had a standout game 1. Do you think they make a repeat in game 2?
They could be riding a little bit of momentum now, but again, we'll have to really just wait and see what happens here, J-Mac.
Camelot Kings got to claw back if they want a chance to take it game 3. Will they do it? We'll find out with Dulcin and Mifflin.
Jade Dragons were able to keep up the same pace that they did in game 1. I'm hard-pressed to imagine a world where they don't roll over here in game.
She's actually simplified a good deal now since the minor rework. Her plant only has 2 levels. Either the first level, heal. Second level, it will travel forward when you proc it. Bone Rush applies a slow, has good damage on it, good cooldown.
Goodness.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! Just dies? Just straight up
Netrioid
dies.
misses nothing. Netrioid hit every single auto attack in that chain, and Mike had no chance. The perma slow from Genetics was enough.
Icing to go for that crit build, which is why you see him go for the cow immediately. Likely going to be a Silver Branch or Odysseus' bow in that next slot. Twig trying to set up for the Scorpion, but Sam's hovering.
Sam is close by, and he's got a 1-level lead. Double Stygian Torment, double stun. What a setup from the Camelot Kings. But the Jade Dragons have got enough damage to turn this one around. Sanford Soccer could get dunked on. Will Captain Twig go back in? 1, 2 say yes,
Good
3
blink.
says no as Sanford Soccer blinks on away. Now Big Man Tings rotates in. He's got the Taiko drums. You gotta hit him. He's hit 1, he's hit 2.
Variety.
But now Variety's gotta clean it up.
Uh-oh.
Kick from Sam. Wags his finger in Variety's face, and the Jade Dragons turn it around for a kill.
Hurry went a little slow on the rotation. Does spot out Genetics in the jungle, and Mike has got him locked down.
It's a great wall, but then Genetics has one of his own. Freeze onto Mike, and so Genetics likely able to walk away here. No more Grasp of Death from Hurrywin. Some lockdown from PBM keeps things interesting. Dash on forward. This is going to be a slow death for Genetics. Has to use the shell and the wall. And now I can say Genetics is going to get away.
Hurrywin not quite able to connect that last Bone Rush, but we got a good look at how hard it is to deal with Persephone's damage. Locking down entire jungle pass. It's constant damage. She's got great slow potential. She's going to keep you there inside of the team fight, and maybe Variety going to be kept here to watch this blue buff go down.
Variety leaps forward. We are still fighting on the right side of the map. Final K has used his ultimate here. Genetics
Twig's back.
still very low. Hurrywin gets locked down, and Captain Twig ends up getting the kill. Genetics low as well, so Final K is able to at least trade back 1. It's an even trade on the right side of the map. We're looking at support on one side, mid on the other, and it could get worse here for the Jade Dragons.
Final K left high and dry and is going to fall down quickly. This time, Big Man Tings connects every single one of those Taiko drums. Jade Dragons stick around just a little bit too long after that engagement. That blue buff invade was optimistic. Everyone's pretty far behind already, and it's hard to deal with a Raijin with a lead, especially one that has an enhanced red buff on his belt.
Pendacat sees Netrioid, leaps on over. PBM just short on the ultimate. Netrioid has to use his beats, but you got to imagine there's no chance, and there isn't. Pendacat will grab the kill here in the dual lane, and that is just a sudden onslaught from the Jade Dragons. No real chance for Netrioid. Look, the ultimate's still coming back up from the last time Sanford Soccer was over there. And so the Jade Dragons
base finishes Karen's coin completely on that back, so maybe had he had that item, Variety wouldn't still be drawing breath right now. Final K, on the other hand, finds himself surrounded and in a admittedly poor position.
FineOK has his ult, but unfortunately CC immunity won't save you from damage. Leaps on away. PBM throws
soon.
up a wall on left, and that's Genetics who's trying to get back in to save or re-engage onto FineOK, unable to do so, and that's just a walk-it-down kill from the Camelot Kings.
It is the Jade Dragons with Oracle Vision right now.
Doing it.
Kings, they're there.
Jade Dragons are close by as the Camelot Kings have started up the Gold Fury. Will Winds of Shamash get the last bit of damage? No, it won't. Not for the time being. Sanford Soccer jumps in and the Camelot Kings secure the objective. Genetics with a late wall keeps himself alive on the side. The Jade Dragons find the first, and they find the second in this game, or in this kill as well. Captain Twig down. Genetics has also fallen. There's a trade-out kill from the Kings onto Sanford Soccer, and the Kings get the Gold Fury. And so we sort of know what that power spike looks like here.
It's good.
For the ROM as the game goes on. It is very good. Raijin, a similar build, though it's Big Man Tings this time. Still Chronos Pendant. In fact, both mid laners have gone Chronos Pendant.
Fast.
And then an early Ob Shard. Pyromancer started. My God, Captain Twig drop kicked against the wall and took way too much damage to really have a chance there. But now it's Sanford Soccer locked in the chain CC, and Big Man Tings will pick up the kill. It's a Thunder Crash away to keep his life going, but it's a double Whirlwind of Rage and Steel to send Genetics right back into the backline of the Jade Dragons, and now it's Polar Bear Mike being run down.
Panda Cat starting to work his way all the way around the fight, but might be too little too late. Polar Bear Mike falls down, but the Camelot Kings are deep in enemy territory.
Man, Netrioid is swinging in this fight. This ROM has been untouched. Big Man Tings has to use the Aegis. Panda Cat has found a kill on the other side of this fight, but Netrioid's got two as well, and it might just be both hunters swinging at one another by the time that this fight is over. To do it every once in a while. The Camelot King still playing with an advantage in the solo lane. A level down now is fine. Okay, it was 2 levels just a moment ago. So you're going to have to see more out of the Xing Chen if you're going to have an advantage, or you're going to have a fighting chance if you're the Jade Dragons around this fire giant that the Kings had started up, but they drop. Genetics separates out this fight. A freeze onto Mike, who has to use the beads. Sun's breaking down onto the Ymir. Variety alone in the backline. Stygian Torment sends Mike right back into what would have been the awaiting arms of the Camelot Kings, but nobody's in range to deal the damage. Everyone from the Kings has been pushed back, but Big Man Tings with a little bit of that delayed damage, able to get a kill onto Sam.
Twig dunks down onto both carries of the Jade Dragons and walks away with 100% HP. Absolutely crazy. Take a peek at these relics, Dave. I don't think the Dragons can stick around much longer. It's just Sam that still has his, and it's just Sam that's dead.
And look at how in sync, I'll pause on that, as the leap away from FineOK keeps things interesting here. Slightly low on the health bars, Genetics and Netrioid. And
they generate enough threat to pull the Dragons away, and, well, they are able to at least disengage safely as well. Take a peek at Captain Twig, though. Might have his work cut out for him in a 1v1.
Let's have Mannequin's Hidden Blade, and that is a lot of damage that connects onto Sanford Soccer. 1v1 in the mid, and Captain Twig washes his hands of Sanford Soccer. And so now the Camelot Kings have a bit of an advantage on the map immediately, but they're not going to push it. The Jade Dragons, or the Camelot Kings,
or a Stygian Torment, or just a good wall from Genetics, but Jade Dragons, with Hurry Win on this Persephone, can create so much space and control the entire lane.
You did say something about a good wall, and Genetics at least got one, but the Riptide from PBM keeps Genetics right where he is, the individual target inside that wall, and FineOK finally picks up the kill that was set up by his support there. Variety locked against the wall as well. He has to leap away, but a lot of damage following up there from Hurrywind.
These plants are so nuts,
one
dude.
kill from the Jade
Dragons. It has to be either Captain Twig or miraculously Netrioid with an ultimate can send him back to base. But his damage is just so nuts.
Maybe a blink forward from Variety. Get something done here. The stun onto Variety, but then it's a follow-up from Captain Twig, but he's in the base of the Jade Dragons. He's all alone. And Panda Cat throws up in his hands and says, all right, I'll take that kill for free. And now the Jade Dragons have a 4v5 on the map. A wall from Genetics is going to slow down the re-engage, but a Whirlwind of Rage and Steel sends Genetics right towards the back line. FineOK takes a lot of damage from BMT. Can Genetics survive? No, he can't. Panda Cat's got the last auto.
Sanford Soccer on the right-hand side, trying to loop his way around, finds Variety, so the rest of the Dragons can close gap. Could be another pick.
And without Captain Twig, the engage, that backline dive a bit missing. He got a massive ultimate, Captain Twig.
Removed, but only for another 10 seconds. You actually get 20 seconds off your cooldown every time it gets destroyed by an enemy god, so PBM not feeling too bad about it.
A little bit of damage from the Jade Dragons onto the enhanced Fire Giant. Will they commit, though? No Frenzy for Mike this time to give us that cue that the Jade Dragons want to fight. Instead, a lot of damage finds the backline. But look at the backline of the Camelot Kings. It is missing. Sanford Soccer's got the first. Up into the sky goes Netrioid. Could be a death on his way back down as PandaCat rampages through this team fight. Will finally get taken down by Captain Twig. Netrioid left on as well. Sanford Soccer's got the double himself. It's a tale of two fights, but it's the tale of one win here for the Jade Dragons. The Camelot Kings try to engage, but the Jade Dragons punch him in the mouth.
Twig able to blink his way out of there, should be able to walk away with his life. Variety, not nearly as lucky, has 3 dragons on his tail, is able to use that leap away, and no Omi for PBM could spell the end of this one. And Twig going for a bit of a classic Shing play, trying to keep something up on the map.
My
Variety,
God.
well, he's still alive.
That was a sad fight to be a carry, wasn't it? Variety is going to get dove on here, and Sanford Soccer gets 3 in that fight. Now a bit delayed is that final respawn timer. 1 minute on Variety. Everyone else in the game, 30 seconds or less. Captain Twig still here, not able to stop the
Stygian Torment and Captain Twig's ultimate used in exchange for Grasp of Death and PBM's ultimate. So both team fight tools lost.
Awkward
from
for Twig.
both teams, but it's Hurrywin with the defensive positioning, and we've talked about these plants, man. They're just going to keep traveling.
It is awkward for Captain Twig now. You don't have through the Cosmos to find the backline in this fight. Fire Giant started and
they got it
by the Jade Dragons. Twig is in the backline, but he's jumped on now by PandaCat. Oh,
Sam
Sam has taken a whole lot of damage. He walks back in, and Big Man Tings deals the last ticket damage with the Taiko drums. Now it's a re-engage, and look at all the slows from the Raiju. Genetics throws up the wall, but he pays for it with his life. Variety is re-engaged in this fight as well. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but the Dragons have the FG.
It's Variety jumping in yet again, finds Hurrywin with the stun, but nobody there to follow up. Autos to the wall.
He has ult. Stygian Torment's got 2, and it sent him right back to the rest of the Camelot Kings. BMT's got a double. BMT won't get the triple. Instead, the Kings get the deicide. And Miff, I think they're sending us to game 3.
Hope you're happy with your Fire Giant Dragons, because you won't get a chance to use it. 30 seconds on the nearest respawn, and Netrioid still draws breath. This Phoenix is a foregone conclusion, and I agree, Dave. I think the Titan is as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have any problem finishing this game in the next 20 seconds. The Jade Dragons mopped in the final team fight of the game. This one, a long, drawn-out effort by the Camelot Kings. Real difference here, Miff?
Available to themselves, because really it's Gilgamesh or Khepri, and you kind of want the Khepri to stay a little bit further back once the later fights come through. But at the very least for themselves, they do have a lot of ways to stay in the fight via that hell, and if they can manage to get the revive and get them to safety. That's always the caveat is, yeah, you got the revive, did you get them back to safety with it? I think Camelot Kings have a good fighting chance to bring this back here, but it's all going to come down to who's going to take game 3. Will it be the Dragons or will it be the Camelot Kings? I think that's the question that everybody is waiting to have answered here, as these are the top, or 2 of the top 4 teams going into this weekend. Both of these teams need a huge win for themselves.
Up here between the Jade Dragons and the Camelot Kings. Thank you, J-Mac. Thank you, Taco. One final time this set. Dulcin, Mifflin, and Doug.
In a late game team fight in particular, I don't think he's just about ever going to get a Ragnarok.
Well, that's such a good point, Miff, that I'll return to in a moment after Sanford Soccer duels out with Captain Twig, but it's a 3v1. This is not a 1v1. Sanford Soccer nearly winning it, but Captain Twig gets the Scarab's Blessing as if that mattered. And first blood over to the Camelot Kings and this Raijin, where I was going to go to re-gank onto Variety. Netrioid's beads just now coming back up, so we didn't see that double down on by the Jade Dragons. But still some pressure finding its way onto right. Sanford Soccer dashes into Variety. He uses the cleanse once again, waiting for the ultimate, but he doesn't need it. Sanford Soccer is stuck around on the right side of the map, and it pays off with a kill.
Captain Twig is hovering nearby, has the Winds of Shamash available, but Sam's going to heal up.
Yeah, Sam taunts him back in on
Not
the
in time.
Kick. Perfect from Sanford Soccer, and the heal never came through. Final K was not there either, so Captain Twig, big return kill, not only to get a bit of an advantage there for the struggle in this set already. By the time we reach late game, Captain Twig was having a hard time finding those engages, so that's something to keep your eyes on here if you're the Jade Dragons or a Jade Dragons fan. Grasp of Death has rooted Captain Twig in, but is there a re-engage? It's a bit slow here, so Captain Twig able to walk away, and then there's a taunt in from Sanford Soccer. Winds of Shamash makes things interesting, but look at Big Man Tings free casting on the backline. He's got the first kill. Taiko drums pouring their way into Final K. It's a Ragnarok from PBM, but Captain Twig just drop kicks on the Hurrywin. He'll leap away. It's a double kill for the Raijin. Hurry's got to get this one, but he won't. Captain Twig walks away.
Captain Twig is having one of the best beat weekends of his career so far, and Hurrywin on the receiving end. Triple for Big Man Tings. Tough one. Jade Dragons, they were looking for a fast one, Dave, and, well, they got it. He can catch out Final K, not this time around, but yeah, you're right, man. This Raijin, is a threat. He's got good survivability in his own right, but Netroid, where are you walking?
I admire it, because it might result in a kill anyway. The snipes from Netroid are up. There's a trap down at the bottom. Watch out, and down goes Netroid. Tutsky stuck around, but ended up stunning Netroid. So Sanford Soccer whiffs on the initial, but ends up helping with the kill nonetheless. But now the Jade Dragons being dove on by the Pyromancer, and it is a rampage for Big Man Ting. So on one side of the map, you at least get a kill for your Artemis, but on another side of the map, Captain Twigs continuing to do what he's done this entire game. A Thunder Crash forward met with the Ragnarok, and that'll keep PBM on the map.
It will. He was able to walk his way out of there, but the tier 1 tower removed from the map, and that's never jungle, in which case you're popping off if you're sitting around that 600 mark or support.
Right.
Generally, everyone else is about average. He's about 100 over where he should be.
Oh, it's a great boar from PandaCat as Captain Twig jumped into the back, but Sanford Soccer is here as well. Netroid has to go up to the sky. It's a great Aegis from PandaCat, and why not fight around the left side of the map? Netroid will survive, and there is a Scarab's Blessing here if there is a redive, but why not? Now we see this again, and look, Oni Fury definitely not going all that quickly. Polar Bear Mike somewhat low here, not fully all that tanky just yet. Still has Ragnarok if he's able to find that opening. Frenzy gets used now by the Camelot Kings. Final K's in the back.
Reset.
Polar Bear Mike looking for a Ragnarok target, but Variety cleanses it on out. Big taunt in from Sanford Soccer. Look for PandaCat in this fight. The boar flying through the Camelot Kings, and that'll send them right on back. It's a drop kick against the wall onto Final K. A double stun is there as well. Sanford Soccer getting sniped, and Netroid hits them all. Sanford Soccer is the first death in this one. Polar Bear Mike has to leap away, and somehow he'll survive. Final K abducted, and I think he'll be the last one to go down.
PandaCat, the only one in range, still does avoid the Raiju, so should be able to stay alive in this one. The Jade Dragons just chase it out a little bit too far. It was a great taunt from Sanford Soccer. It was a phenomenal stun from Final from the Jade Dragons, and re-engage.
Watch out for Captain Twig, who now has the Mannequin's Hidden Blade. Top damage in the game goes to Gilgamesh. That might continue here if the space is big enough that Big Man Tings is helping create. At 502, Big Man Tings continuing his run, but there are still 100% kill participation for the Camelot Kings jungler. Twig pushes in the mid wave, and now there's a leap in on the right side from Polar Bear Mike. Ragnarok gets used here, but he's immediately just abducted back in. The Camelot Kings have found the opening kill. Twig will jump away, but here are the snipes from Netroid.
Hurry when drop down low, half before the fight. Camelot Kings gonna take this Phoenix easily. Jade Dragons still have a couple of not had a single Ragnarok come through this game, I'm pretty sure. Maybe one towards that 10-minute mark. And PandaCat, what are you doing?
PandaCat has to use the boar, and look at the onslaught onto the Jade Dragons Hunter. Captain Twig deletes them, and now the Jade Dragons are defending their lives in this set against a Camelot Kings team who's got everyone. Polar Bear Mike will leap away. Now it's Sanford Soccer left alone with the Kings draft, and he'll get whittled on down by Netroid, who's aggressive. He's forward, and he's dealing the damage. Final K will use the beads, but he's thunder crashed on by Big Man Tings, and the siege is here.
Can't be losing your win condition that early. Mike in.
Hurry Win now can supply some damage, but not if Twig has anything to say about it. The Camelot Kings decimate the Dragons in Game 3.
That was a convincing win. I've said it many a time.